Welcome back to MotorMaster Monday. Welcome to the main event of the evening, folks. Road to Glory 250 here at Martinsville Speedway, and it is a big one, folks. It is the last race in the round of 8. Last race before we find out who the final 4 championship contenders are at Phoenix next Monday. And we can tell you Matt Smith in the 10 locked in with his win last week. And we can tell you Jordan Dorset, the 74, locked in as well with his big win earlier tonight at Texas, and right now he leads the race. He's rocking and rolling. He's on the pole for this event. He's led most of the laps since the drop of the green flag, but we did see a flurry from Jason Doro, who went up there, took the lead, and has now settled back in line in the second position, about a half a straightaway behind your race leader. Jesse Carlson in the 20 car scored in third. He's in a must-win situation coming in to this race. There's Trey Hollywood in the 8 car, scored in fourth, coming off a 4th place finish earlier tonight at Texas, and looking to rebound again and have another strong run here. And I believe that it's Jason Armstrong in the 12, currently scored in 5th, and he is also in a must-win situation to advance to the final 4. In fact, folks, 4 drivers pretty much in a must-win situation. Jesse Carlson, Alex Tesdall, Josh Colm-Diaz, Jason Armstrong, they all come into this race 14 points or more below the cut line, and with a small field here for this Martinsville race, and with stage points only being awarded to the top 5, it's very doubtful that they're going to point their way in. So it's going to possibly come down to a must-win situation for some of these drivers, including Jesse Carlson in the 20 and Jason Armstrong in the 12, as well as Alex Tesdall there. You see him in the 16, and Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. We'll keep our eye on those 4 drivers, and we'll keep our eye on the rest of the round of 8 contenders as well. I am NASCAR CEO Tyler McMurder, alongside my 2 in-race reporters for this race, Alex Tesdall and Cameron Norton. I believe we also might have Trey Hollywood in here, driver of the 8. And welcome, gentlemen.
Welcome. Got less than 7 to go in the stage.
Less than 7 laps remaining here in stage 1, and the leader is working his way through lap traffic. He's already put a lap on Jordan Green, the 6-time NASCAR champion. He just put a lap on Timmy Brown in the 9, and now he's putting Alex Tesdall in the 16, 1 lap down as well. Stage 1, 34 laps in length, and these drivers able to go 65 laps, around that anyway, on fuel and tires. So these drivers do not need to make pit stops here in stage 1. If it stays green the entire way. Cautions are on. These drivers are driving the Xfinity cars on NASCAR Heat 5 with the preset sliders. The 4th annual NASCAR MotorMaster Series season started back on NASCAR Heat 2. Here we are on Heat 5, and bringing you some of the very best of the best on NASCAR Heat 5, and showcasing their driving abilities, their talents as sim racers. And one of them is Jordan Dorset in the 74, who's comfortably leading this race. Another is Jason Doro in the 08, and we should follow up on that. Jordan Dorset of the 74, 9 wins this season, and if he were to win the last 2 races of the season, he would hold the record for the most wins in a single season, and he would also become the 3rd different driver to win the MotorMaster Series championship, as well as locking that new record. 3 laps to go in stage number 1. Tanner Swaley off the racetrack, done for the day. It's a tough break for him. Came into this race with high hopes. Jackson Stotts in the 6th car, qualified 2nd. He's 1 lap down. Just give you a bit of an update on where some of the other drivers are running throughout the field. Really impressed with Armstrong in the 12. Drove his way all the way up into the top 5 and looking for stage points here. And he's in a must-win situation, so keep your eye on him. White flag has been shown. They're clicking off quickly here. Jordan Dorset working his way out of turn 4. Actually, he might be taking the white this time by.
Yes.
And he is. Still has control of the race car here as he works his way out of turn number 2. Great acceleration for him. He's gaining on the back bumper of Kevin Tattersall in the 54 and Cameron Norton in the 1, but he's not going to get there in time to put him a lap down, and that's key for Kevin in that yellow and blue car. He's one of the round of 8 playoff drivers, comes into this race above the cut line by a very safe margin, but he definitely doesn't want to be stuck 1 lap down at the end of stage 1. Caution is out for the end of the stage. Alex Tesdall in the 16 car is going to be the free pass car, and back on the lead lap. All 8 of the round of 8 contenders are on the lead lap for the beginning of stage 2. We'll get the top 5 from Alex Tesdall.
J-Wow, Maka, Lil Bubba, Bubba Hollywood, and NASCAR Roots.
And another stage win for Jordan Dorset, and a strong run for Jason Doro. 2 round of 8 contenders, and they're both above the cut line coming into this race. Again, folks, Jordan in the 74 locked into the Final 4 next week at Phoenix. So if you're a JCR fan or an FRR fan, you'll definitely not want to miss that one, because not only is he locked into the Final 4, but so is Flash 9, Matt Smith, and a lot of the drivers from over there know him really well as well. And here we go, coming to the restart zone for the beginning of stage 2. Jackson Stotts, Jason Doro lead them to the line, and then the green flag is in the air. Oh, still 2 by 2. They were almost 3 wide, a little bit deeper in the field. It was Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car that forced his nose in there to make it 3 wide. He's been driving pretty aggressive ever since the drop of the green flag in this one, moving several cars out of the way to take the positions. And Jackson Stotts in the 6 car takes the race lead, and we have a non-playoff driver out front here at Martinsville. It's round 35 here in the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. A lot on the line. Very last race in the round of 8.
Oh, 7 cars around.
Yes, sir. Around goes Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7, and that's a heartbreaker for him. I think he got his lefts on the apron and it snapped him around, but I couldn't quite tell. He was a little bit deeper behind the cars I was watching, and that's a heartbreaker for one of the drivers that comes into this race in a must-win situation to advance to the round of 4. We're still green. It did not cause a caution. And yeah, let's throw it down to the in-race reporter, Cameron Norton, in the 1. Cameron, did you get to see what happened there?
It looked like he got his left sides on the apron, and that's pretty bad for here. If you get your left sides on that apron, that makes the car very, very loose, and it just spins you around.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I know that a lot as a driver as well. I don't like when the left sides get down there, because I know the car is suddenly going to turn much more than I'm steering and putting input into the wheels. So yeah, it's very treacherous, very dangerous down there. I swear that they slick the apron up a little bit before these races. And side-by-side battle for the lead. I think we might have seen some strategy rather for the pit stops at the end of stage 1, and that's what caused Jackson Stotts in the 6 and Jason Doro in the 08 to be 1-2 for the restart. And now we might be seeing the fresher tires come into play a little bit as Jordan Dorset in the 74 retakes the lead and starts to try to drive away. See if Jackson can stay there with him. I think he gave him a little bit of a shot there through 1 and 2. Don't know if he meant to or not. Might not have actually, because it looks like he lifted a bit on exit to give him a bit more breathing room. Jesse Carlson runs in 4th in a must-win situation in the 20. Pretty much all 4 of the drivers below the cut line coming into tonight are not looking too good based on points. Jesse was the 5th place driver in the points coming into this race, 14 points below the cut line, and judging based on what happened in stage 1, he only was able to gain 1 point by finishing 5th in stage 1. So now he's 13 below that cut line. He's chipping away at it slowly, but unless Kevin Tattersall or Jason Doro have a really bad finish at the end of this race, all 4 of them are in a must-win situation. Top 3 have kind of spread out a little bit from the rest of the field. It's Jordan Dorset, Jackson Stotts, and Jason Doro 1, 2, 3. Jesse Carlson 4th, Trey Hollywood in 5th. Jason Armstrong is in the 6th position. On the restart, Armstrong lost a couple of positions, went back to, I think, about 8th or 9th, and he's been able to gain a few of those spots back. And I'll tell you, folks, Armstrong really has something here today at Martinsville. And it's a good thing he does, because he's in a must-win situation, a lot like these other drivers I keep mentioning. Another driver in a must-win situation just behind him, and it's Alex Tesdall on the 16. Alex went a little bit wide that last time by, going through 1 and 2. Opened the door for Cameron Norton to the inside, and they're going to stay side-by-side going down the front straightaway now. The 2 in-race reporters having a good battle. Looked like Kevin Tattersall is trying to put his nose in the middle of those 2 Camaros. And at the last second thought better of it, there might have even been a little bit of contact made in the process. It's a good battle inside the top 10. 7th, 8th, and 9th here. And running in 10th is Timmy Brown, the driver of the 9. There you see him having an all-right day here. Good start for his Martinsville race. Just behind him is the 6-time NASCAR champion, and that is Jordan Green in the 47. Jordan got a top 10 earlier tonight at Texas Motor Speedway. Good to see him come back for some more fun here at Martinsville. He found a lot of success at Martinsville Speedway when he won his 6 championships and his 94 races, 94 wins back on NASCAR 15. He knows it's a completely different ball game here on these NASCAR Heat games. Very different physics and graphics engine, and he's come a long way. He's got a NASCAR Platinum Cup Series race win, and only a matter of time until he finds victory lane here in the MotorMaster Series, as well as the Tailgate Truck Series on Tuesdays. Kevin Tattersall, UCJ Motorsports driver, was running strong all race long earlier tonight at Texas. Did not get the finish he was hoping for. He ran out of fuel in the late laps of that race, and he finished in the 15th position. The only thing that really saved him based on points was getting some stage points for him. Still above the cut line coming into this race, and has a lot to do with the playoff points he carried into the playoffs. There's a side-by-side battle for position just in front of him. Cameron Norton in the 1 trying to take the position away from Jason Armstrong in the 12. And it might open the door for Kevin and Alex in the 16. The round of 8 drivers in your screen are the 12, the 54, and the 16. They're all running 7th, 8th, and 9th here. Armstrong, maybe the tires might be going away on that number 12 Ford Mustang. He's now dropped from 6th to 9th in just a lap or two. He gave the boot there to Alex Tesdall in the 16 to take that position back. Don't know if he meant to or not. Not like Armstrong to drive aggressive either, so I don't know if it was intentional or not, but that was intentional. Alex gave him a run there through 3 and 4 to take the 8th position back. A good battle here as they keep on doing it. Corner after corner, trading shots and trading paint. You can tell both of these drivers are in a must-win situation. Trying to advance their way towards the front, pick off these cars one at a time, and oh, they're door to door, bouncing off each other here. Oh, and they're both going to bounce off the wall there, and they're going to keep on going, but yeah, NASCAR officials really watching this, and NASCAR officials issuing a warning to the driver of the 16 and the 12 to tone it down a little bit out there. As we continue to work stage 2, Trey Hollywood has taken the 3rd position away from Jesse Carlson in the 20. And I'll tell you, Trey has really come to life here in the late stages of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season. Started the season late and therefore did not make the playoff. Didn't make the playoffs for the Truck Series on Tuesdays either for the same reason, but has a strong car and a strong truck every time he comes out to these NASCAR races, and he's been finding the top 5 at the end of these races a lot over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And the leaders are in a little bit of lap traffic here. They just put a lap on Jordan Green, put a lap on Timmy Brown, and they are still going to come up on a couple more cars before they're completely clear of this traffic. There's Jackson Stotts in the 6th car, running in 2nd, and it's Jason Doro still scored in the 3rd position. And that black and lime green 08 Chevy Camaro. They've also put a lap on Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7th car. Remember, he found the apron with his left side tires earlier in this stage, and that's what really put a damper to his stage 2, and that's why he's stuck 1 lap down in that 7 car, and 5 laps to go now for the race leaders. Getting that update there from Cameron Norton, driver of the 1. Strong run earlier tonight at Texas, won the pole for that race, and nearly won the race as well. Finished in 6th at the end, and we're still watching a wild battle here between Armstrong and Alex. Chrome horn being used by both of these drivers, and evidently the warning was not received maybe, and they're still gonna try to decide who's going to finish 8th and 9th in this stage as we wind down the laps in stage 2. The good news for JWoww is that he's got no more traffic in front of him. I don't think he's going to encounter any more cars to have to...
15's the leader.
Huh?
Yeah, the 15 just took the lead.
Yeah, something happened to the 74.
74.
The 74.
The 74 is on my screen still, and he looks fine. I don't understand. But you're right, he's not positioned in the same spot that he was before. Wow. And so this puts Jackson Stotts in the 6 car. It scores him as the 15 when it comes to the numeral beside the driver name for some reason. I guess there is a reason to that. I just can't remember the details of it right now, but it had something to do with Ryan Vargas and the team arrangement. And he is now running in the lead. Jackson Stotts, the driver of this number 6 Chevy Camaro. Jason Doro in the 08 is scored in 2nd. Jordan Dorset is now back into the 3rd position in that 74 car. And Jackson is all over the back bumper of Armstrong and Alex Tesdall to try to put them a lap down before the end of the stage. And that's 2 drivers that are a part of the round of 8. Alex has got to fight hard here, and he is. He's really forcing them low. Armstrong's going to do the same, and they're coming out of 4 here, and this might even be the last time by. And it was. Jackson is going to win the stage, and Alex Tesdall forces Armstrong down towards the inside wall to get the free pass at the end of the stage. And we'll throw it down to Cameron Norton to get the top 5.
It is the 15, Mucka, JWoww, Taddy, and Bubba.
There was also some contact between the 74 and 9 got around, left up the wall, and the 74 destroyed the right side of it.
And getting a report from Jordan Roughton, who was actually standing by and watching this race. And normally the driver of the 18 had a strong run earlier tonight at Texas, nearly won that one and finished in the top 5 actually. He's letting us know there was contact made between the 74 and the 9 car. The 9, Timmy Brown, was going a lap down, lost control right in front of the 74. 74 had nowhere to go, and now he's got his work cut out for him in the final stage. He's going for that record for the most wins in a single season. The green flag is back in the air, the final stage at Martinsville. 2nd last race of the season, and last race until we find out who's in the final 4. The 20 car, I believe, had some sort of connection issue right in front of Alex Tesdall, and a crash took place. Timmy Brown was involved, Jordan Green was involved, and the caution comes out for the first time in this race for an on-track incident, and it comes here at the beginning of the final stage. Wow. And I believe what this does is puts Armstrong back on the lead lap in the 12. We'll throw it down to Alex Tesdall. Who's the free pass car? Oh, wow. Okay, so Jordan Green was able to sneak by Armstrong to take that spot. Armstrong might be able to not pit here, and if every lead lap car does, he would get his lap back that way, but it kind of depends on what everyone else does here on these pit stops. But we can tell you Jordan Green in the 47 is back on the lead lap. Oh boy, and they're lined up double file again, coming into that restart zone, the Geico restart zone, and the green flag has been shown. Jackson Stotts is getting out of the way in the 6 car. Evidently there was a problem with him. Trey Hollywood had a bad corner 1 that stacks up everybody, and Jordan Dorset is going to shoot out of a cannon and take the lead. Oh, they're 3, 4, 5 wide, deeper here in the field. I don't know what Cameron Norton in the 1 car was doing there. There was contact between he and a couple of other cars, but it looked like they were already out of shape by the time he got there. Armstrong goes around and he's flipping through the air. There was contact made between he and Jackson Stotts and Josh Colm Diaz. And we'll line them up again. The caution is out for the second time in this race for an on-track incident, both of which here in the final stage and within just a handful of laps of each other. Who's the free pass car?
Duking.
And Timmy Brown is going to get back onto the lead lap and get one of his 2 laps back. And is Armstrong on the lead lap?
Yeah, he took it away from him at the end of the stage.
Ah, okay, so he's able to pit now then and get 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles and be back on sequence with everybody, and therefore also on the lead lap. So this should put 11 cars on the lead lap, I believe. And all of the round of 8 drivers are on the lead lap and have a shot to win this one. Keep in mind, Alex Tesdall, Josh Colm-Diaz, Jesse Carlson, Jason Armstrong, they need a win to advance to the Final 4. The Final 4 would be Matt Smith, Jordan Dorset, Jason Doro, and Kevin Tattersall. If one of those other 4 cannot find a way to victory lane here, the green flag is back in the air. We're rolling again in the final stage. Much cleaner start, it looks like this time. Jordan still opens up the gap a little bit here, but this time it's Alex Tesdall in the 16 car, scored in second, and Trey Hollywood now looking to the inside of him for that position. Highest Alex has been all race long, and he's one of the drivers that needs a win, so keep an eye on that 16 car. He's up on the outside line right now, and that's not necessarily where you want to be. It kind of looked like Trey Hollywood maybe cut him a break there, but now Trey dives in again to the inside. There's still door-to-door coming out of turn 4. Alex gets the run out of the turns. Trey gets the run into the turns. They're taking the corners very differently, and it's just making it interesting, and it's allowing the 74 to drive away, and these two are stuck battling side by side with a pack of hungry drivers right behind them that are all still 2 by 2. And I think finally Trey, yes he does, just barely slides up in front of the 16 of Alex Tesdall to take the second position away. Jason Doro in the 08 trying to draw alongside both of them. He was nearly 3 wide until Alex actually lifted to get down to the inside again. And he's tucked in line in 4th now. Oh, Trey Hollywood in the 8 got out of shape coming out of turn 2. It opened the door for the 08 and the 16. Contact made with Alex and Trey. They're both going to come out of 4 okay. But back to the bottom goes Trey Hollywood in the 8, and he goes back to the outside. He actually lost control trying to make that power move, and Kevin Tattersall ran into the back of him. Josh Colm-Diaz got stacked up in the red 7 car that you saw back there. Jesse Carlson just pounded the wall over in 1 and 2. But we're staying green, and we're watching this pack of cars right here running from about 2nd, 3rd on back to about 7th or 8th. Oh, wow, you're right. And getting a report from Jordan Roughton, 20 car having issues, and that was over in turn 4, and now he's off the racetrack and done for the day, and that's a heartbreaker, another engine failure
on the racetrack
for Jesse Carlson.
He's ghosted in 1 minute.
Oh, let me know if he stays. I hope he stays out there. On my screen, he's parked on pit road. We'll have to see how it goes for Jesse from here on out. And yeah, it's unfortunate because he came in tonight needing a win. He's got 3 wins this season, 4 wins in the Truck Series. Already found victory lane in Mid-Ohio in the Cup Series, and he's not going to advance to the Final 4. There you see him. Hopefully he's still on the racetrack, I guess. Yeah, we'll get an update here in just a matter of moments. We can tell you they're all still chasing 74 of Jordan Dorset. Jordan's got 9 wins this season. If he wins another one, he ties the record for the most wins in a single season with Noco and Matt Smith. And if he were to win again next week in the championship race, he would break that record and also become a champion. And he'd be the 3rd driver in the 3rd straight year to win the MotorMaster Series championship and set the new record for the most wins. History repeats itself around here, it seems. And yeah, Jordan looking to make history and be a part of NASCAR history. And we can tell you, folks, it's happened. And Jesse Carlson is now out of the race and done for the day, and that is a heartbreaker. He will not advance to the Final 4 after such a strong season and a playoff run up until the round of 8. battle for second, third, and fourth looks like this. And oh, excuse me, it's actually third, fourth on back. I keep forgetting Jason Doro in the 08 has actually driven around these guys, and as has the 6 machine of Jackson Stott. So this is the battle for the fourth and fifth, rather, and Trey Hollywood's got it. Alex Tesdall was scored in fifth, but Kevin Tattersall dives down low, and he's going to take that position away. Cameron Norton just made a pass a moment ago on Armstrong. That was for position in the top 10. Some of these drivers may have short-run cars, long-run cars. Some of them might have a car that comes to life as the tires get older. And some of them might be trying to utilize the short-run bursts of speed that their cars have. A lot of different cars, a lot of different driver preferences when it comes to the preset sliders. And we're at a track where anything can happen. I saw that. Contact between the 7 and the 16, and then Cameron Norton dived in even harder than the 7 did, and contact between he and the 16 as well. Hard racing here in about the mid-pack territory. That's a battle for 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th when you include Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7, who's just running in front of them. In a must-win situation, as is Alex Tesdall, as is Jason Armstrong. In fact, they're all near each other on the racetrack right now. Running from about 6th on back. 6th to 9th, actually. And what a run it's been for Jordan Dorset in the 74. He's driven away from the rest of the field. It's nearly a full straightaway of an advantage over Jackson Stotts on the number 6, and then it's Jason Doro running in 3rd. And the battle we keep tuning in for here for 4th on back is now being held by Kevin Tattersall in the 54. Trey Hollywood scored in 8th. Cameron Norton in, excuse me, Trey Hollywood scored in 5th, rather. Cameron Norton scored in 6th. Josh Colm-Diaz running in 7th. Good run for all of these drivers, but the problem here is for some of these drivers, it's not going to be good enough to get them to the final 4. They know that, and there might be some strategy beginning to unfold here as the laps wind down. Throw it down to the InRace reporter, Cameron Norton, driver of the 1. Cameron, how many laps do we have to go, and how's the car feeling, buddy?
Oh man, this thing has really came to life. We have been working on this thing so much. With less than 24 laps to go. 23, I should say, because leader. But we've been working, and this car's came to life, and we're running close to the top 5.
Doing a great job, too. You're more known for your mile-and-a-half program, but you're coming to life here lately on the short tracks and the road courses as well. What kinds of things have you been working on to get that speed?
Just film and asking for help, mainly, you know. We've just been grinding. We'll see what happens here. We just took the 5th spot, and we're going to go catch Daddy and see what we can do here.
We saw that. Good job. And, yeah, we'll let you get back to it. We know you're busy.
Thank you.
Great job there by Cameron Norton. Not only did Cameron take the 5th position away, but he did it while he was having a conversation with us, and I can tell you from experience, that's not easy. Hosted the Platinum Cup Series races on the NOSSCAR channel from my personal on-board view.
Oh, big wreck.
And it was tough
16th got put in the wall.
Oh! And we're getting a report from Jordan Roughton that the 16 of Alex Tesdall found the outside wall and heavy front-end damage. The Bruv Motorsports number 16 Chevy Camaro didn't see what happened to trigger that. Let's throw it down to the InRace reporter Alex Tesdall. Alex, what did happen there, buddy?
12 steps and it killed me.
Oh no, and we saw problems unfolding between you two in this race. Both of you entered this race in a must-win situation. And I don't know, what's your opinion on all of that happened? Was it just hard racing, or is there something to maybe have a discussion about with him after the race?
Oh, I'm definitely going to talk to him. Basically, over the rest of the start.
And that's a tough deal there. And 2 drivers hungry for their first win. Excuse me, Armstrong hungry for his first win here all season long. And of course, Alex Tesdall looking for that 3rd win of the season, but also the win that would lock him into the final 4. Both drivers laying it all out there, and yeah, it was hard racing there today between those 2. They're all chasing the 74. He just put a lap on a couple cars there. He might have actually just made contact with the outside wall a little bit there coming out of turn 4. Nothing major, but it might be little mistakes like that here and there that might end up costing the 74. We're keeping our eye on everything and studying everything that we can here. And I don't know, he's got this race pretty well in hand. Large lead for him over the second place car. It's about a full straightaway till you find Jackson Stotts in the 6th. He's having a career race. He's made a handful of starts with us here in NASCAR. Joined us about a month ago and immediately showed good speed. He's already won a pole award and won a stage in the truck series, I believe it was. And here he is in the 6th car, having a great run up there in the 2nd position. Led laps earlier in this race. Still has a good shot to get his first win. Jason Doro, 3 wins this season for him. It's been a strong season. He's been one of the drivers everyone's been kind of paying attention to since the beginning of the season in terms of making the Final Four and in terms of having a shot at the championship. The CEO of FRR, Front Row Racing League, and here he is having another strong run and in contention for another win. He's been famous for that all season long, putting himself in a spot to win these races, and even if he does come up short, still gets a top 5 finish out of it and soldiers on with good points. Good battle here between teammates. Cameron Norton in the 1, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. Contact made a little bit there between the 2. I think that's a battle for the 5th position. Yeah. And a good one it is, too. You can see that the outside line, there is a little bit of power there. There's a little bit of grip there, but there's not near as much as what the bottom holds. So when you get stuck out there, you can lose multiple positions if there's a lot of cars behind you trying to get their car down to the inside of you as well. And now we see the green flag cycle of pit stops beginning. The first taker, Jordan Green, the 6-time NASCAR champion. 94 wins for him back on NASCAR 15. One win for him on the NASCAR Heat games last year on Heat 4 of Platinum Cup Series. The question is this going to force everybody to come down pit road and make their scheduled pit stop? The yellows are on in this race, so it's a little bit of a gamble if you go down pit road at this point, because if a caution comes out, you're definitely going to be trapped 1 or 2 laps down. Around goes Trey Hollywood in the 8 car. I think Jordan Dorset in the 74 was trying to get to the inside of one of the lapped cars. I don't think he knew that Trey was there, and Trey is around on the back straightaway. No caution yet. Only seen 2 cautions for on-track incidents all race long here in the Road to Glory 250 at Martinsville Speedway. And we nearly saw another one there, and that definitely would have changed everything. It would have also trapped drivers that have made a green flag pit stop already. 2 laps down. I'm thinking 2 laps down. Jordan Green, I believe, is the only one that has been to pit road for scheduled service so far, and we're under 20 laps remaining here at Martinsville. Man, the leader is in heavy lap traffic.
Less than 7 to go.
Woo! And the 74 is trying desperately to work his way through this traffic. We're hearing less than 7 laps to go for the race leaders from our in-race reporter, Cameron Norton. Oh! And the 8 of Trey Hollywood got into the back of the leader really hard there, and the caution is going to come out, and I think that it's actually because of that incident we just saw. Trey Hollywood, I think, letting the tempers flare a little too much there, drove it deep into the corner, made contact with Jordan Dorset. They both went up and found the wall, and we're going to have a restart with about 3 laps to go here at Martinsville. And a lot of drivers right now are in a must-win situation, and this really opens the door for some strategy, especially if they're on the lead lap. They might as well either not pit, maybe take 2. Let's see what everybody does here. And this is not what Jordan Dorset wanted to see. Had this race well in hand, and he's trying to hit the record for the most wins in a single season. He needs to win here, and he needs to win next week at Phoenix in order to do that. He's going to restart in 2nd. Jordan's going to restart right on the outside line of Cameron Norton in the 1. Strategy has been deployed, and the green flag is in the air. 3 remaining, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and Jackson Stotts gets into the back of Cameron Norton, forces him up the track and into the side of the 74 a little bit. Jackson breaks out in front of Jordan Dorset. Jason Doro just got into the back of the 74, but I think he had help from Cameron Norton. 2 laps to go. They're 3 wide for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. More contact made, and I feel terrible here for Jordan Dorset. He had the race well in hand, and now he's getting forced up and out of line by a couple of cars every now and then, and he's dropped back to 5th. He's not going to win this race. The white flag has been shown for Jackson Stotts in the 6th. And if a caution comes out now, it ends the race, I believe.
Oh!
Is it over?
Yeah, it's over.
And the race ends under caution. I didn't see what ended it under caution, but the race win goes to Jackson Stotts in the 6th, a non-playoff driver. Kevin Tattersall, I believe, is going to finish in 2nd. We'll get the race.
Second.
Oh, Cameron Norton's going to get 2nd.
Third.
We'll get the race results here in a moment from Alex Tesdall. Don't forget the photos. And we now know who's the final 4 drivers really are for the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series Championship. Jackson Stotts in the 6th, stealing the show here. He wins the Road to Glory 250 at Martinsville, leaving the final 4 contenders to be Matt Smith, Jordan Dorset, Jason Doro, and Kevin Tattersall for Phoenix next Monday. Wow, what did we just witness? What a wild race, and what a wild finish and a restart there at the end to cap off the race. The fastest lap of the race goes to the driver who won the race, and that is Jackson Stotts, the driver of the 6th. I can't believe what we witnessed. Jordan Dorset is not going to hit the record for the most wins in a single season. He might tie it if he wins Phoenix next week, along with Matt Smith, who already tied it. But man, that's about as far as he'll get, and that's a heartbreaker for him. Had this race well in hand until the wild restart at the end, and then at that point it was Jackson Stotts picking up the big win. Cameron Norton 2nd, Kevin Tattersall in 3rd. You'll see a blue screen for a few seconds here, and then we'll come back with post-race interviews. Pardon me. All right, folks, and let the post-race party begin. And honestly, there's fireworks going off not only above the racetrack, but in the garage area as well. Some of these drivers pretty fired up from the way that the race ended. Martinsville short track racing at its finest, folks. Contact was made here and there. 4 drivers came into this race in a must-win situation to advance their way into the Final 4. And tempers are flaring right now. A lot of conversations being had in the garage area, but we're going to begin with the post-race interviews. And the driver who finished in 4th, Jason Doro. You advanced to the Final 4, buddy. First of all, I want to say congratulations. It was a wild race at Martinsville. We expected no less. And you had a strong car since the drop of the green flag. Ran top 5 pretty much all race long. You took the lead early from Jordan Dorset in the 74. And it looked like you had something for him if the run went long enough. It looked like you had a long run car out there. Take us through your race. Take us through some of those wild restarts. Talk about how good your car was. And tell us how excited you are to be a part of the Final 4 at Phoenix next week.
Thanks, Ty. Yeah, I had a pretty good car. I I'm more of a short track guy. I like my short tracks, long run car. Try to stay out of trouble. That's basically what I did, is just keep it up there in that top 5, stay out of trouble. I knew JWoww was fast, and I seen the 6 was fast. So, you know, I didn't want to cause any mayhem, being just running for points, basically. But, you know, excited to go to Phoenix and see what I can bring. You know, you can't count out Flash or JWoww or K-Taddy or, you know, any of those guys. They're not easy to beat. So, special shout out to the 6. Good win. Happy to see you get your first win.
What a wild race it was, man. What a wild restart it was. Didn't mean to cut you off there, but I wanted to quickly ask you this. You entered this race 3rd in the standings. You had a huge cushion over 5th, a 20-point gap actually, but you only had a 6-point cushion over Kevin Tattersall. Were you concerned about having him pass you in points in this race and maybe a driver below the cut line winning and you being bumped out? How concerned were you coming into Martinsville?
It's always a concern, you know, when you're not locked in. You're always worried about anything could happen. I know the 20 car showed some crazy speed earlier in the day here, threw some, you know, fast lap times down. So I was kind of worried about him winning that race. K-Taddy, I'm worried about that guy every time I race him. He seems to run door to door, but you know, just I don't know. Excited to go to Phoenix, and glad to see you get to sit that 6 car in the victory lane.
Congratulations on a top 5 finish, and good luck to you next week. You're going for a NOSSCAR championship.
Thanks, Ty.
And moving forward with the post-race interviews, we have Kevin Tattersall, driver of the 54 Toyota Supra for Juicy J Motorsports. Kevin, congratulations on a strong run out there today. You had a strong car since the drop of the green flag, it looked like, but it looked like you were kind of just stuck in traffic for the most part in this race. It looked hard to pass, and you looked like you were doing the right things and taking the right steps to get your car to the front. Take us through your race. Tell us how difficult it was to advance your way forward, and tell us how excited you are to be a part of the Final Four.
Okay. Final Four, amazing. The race, that was a tough one, man. So I've kind of gone into these playoffs trying not to wrinkle feathers of those that don't have a problem with me. There'll always be those couple throughout a season that, you know, you're going to have a hard time being race clean with. And I know I was sitting pretty entering this race, so I didn't, you know, I was kind of laying back, getting on the brakes early, giving people plenty of room, letting it just roll through the corner. And honestly, I didn't have a very good car after qualifying stuff. That final pit adjustment in stage, just before stage 2, I made just a wedge and tape adjustment. Actually, I dropped my tape, and all of a sudden the car came to life, and I had about a 4th, 5th place car the rest of the night.
Similar question that I asked Jason Doro. Were you a little worried that one of these drivers below the cut line was going to go out there and win and possibly bump you out of the Final Four spot?
No, actually, for the race I was, but then once the race got going, I wasn't really concerned about it at all. Late race caution like that had happened because, again, kind of like I was saying about roughing up feathers, those of us that were up above the cut line, we were kind of playing it easy. Because of that, your top 2, 3 drivers were able to take off. Shout out to the 6 on getting his victory. JWoww, he was up there. Mucka, they were taking off. And but the guys that were below the cutoff were actually the one pushing a lot of the issues. And because of that, it was slowing everybody else down.
So, all right, let me say this to you. Flash 9, JCR JWoww is back. Mucka FRR, Aqua Taddy. That's the Final Four next week at Phoenix. How amazing is that? 4 of the very best here on NASCAR Heat 5. What are your thoughts going into Phoenix? What do you think of your chances?
To be honest, man, being it's presets or sliders, you know, whatever, I didn't even see myself in the Final Four. You call me the Iceman or whatever, where I'm always getting top 5 finishes. Mm-hmm. And I got a couple wins this season, mostly off strategy, and a couple times because either Flash or JWoww or somebody wasn't there. And then, like Mucka said, him and I were always side by side racing. It never fails week after week. But I think you got a great Final Four here headed to ISM, and I'm interested to see who will win because, I mean, any one of us could take it.
I was just about to say that. I can't believe it, and I'm really excited about it because you're all so talented. I've seen you all drive up there and win races all season long. And let me just run this number by you quickly as well before I move on to the next driver, the final 4 drivers are going to combine for over 25 wins in the first 35 races this season. It's a who's who final 4 at Phoenix next week. Congratulations on your second place finish and good luck next week.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And again, big shout out. Juicy J let me drive his car. He said he wanted me to drive for him again next year if he's got the team. Big shout out to him and the whole team that they work well together for the most part. And again, to the driver of the 6, first win. That's huge. Congrats, man. See you guys.
Awesome job by Kevin Tattersall. I should correct myself. Congratulations on your third place finish. I said second there, but we're actually going to move on to the driver who did pull off the second place finish tonight, Cameron Norton, the driver of the 1. Cameron, strong car since this drop of the green flag. You had a good night overall, really. You qualified on the pole for Texas earlier tonight, finished in 6th in that race, and you led laps in that one, and you were in the top 5 all race long in that one as well. Similar story here, except the top 5 seem to be in a bit of a league of their own. Take us through your race. Tell us how you were able to charge your way back to the front and pull off that second place finish.
You see, I don't even know how we just did that, but what in the world just happened? I'm not really known for my short track racing, but, you know, we adjusted on the car like we did with Texas, and, you know, we got into a few incidents, so we just moved on from that and just raced our race. And then once that final caution came out, I was going to take 2 tires. We knew we had 3 laps left to go. Nothing to lose, you know, we almost about won the race, and, you know, I'm happy for that. You know, we were almost there. Taddy raced me hard there. Mucka did. Everybody that was there, that was right there for that. And I was unfortunate to get moved, and I gave the Taddy the bumper a little bit and passed him with the white flag coming, and we go into turn 1, and the caution came out, and he almost got me for second. But thanks to you for letting me drive this car this season. It's been a fun season. We've been grinding. We've been improving lately. We'll watch the Final 4 happen, and we're going to finish the season off maybe with a win.
It was great watching you out there tonight in both races. You ran a solid night of races here, and it seems like your team is coming to life and firing off at all cylinders. Does it have anything to do with the fact that you're now eliminated in the round of 12 for the playoffs and there's just some less pressure on you, or have you been doing anything different to find some of this speed?
I've just been doing stuff different, you know, less pressure too helps, but also, you know, asking people, you know, and watching film and, you know, just improving. And I think that's what we did here was improve, and we're going to keep bouncing on that. For the truck series tomorrow night, we got one of our favorite tracks, which is Talladega, so we're ready for that.
Awesome stuff. Congratulations on your runner-up finish, and good luck next week in the season finale at Phoenix.
Thank you, and thank you for broadcasting this race. Thank you for letting me drive this car all season. Let's cap it off with a bang. Final 4, baby. And good luck to Mucka. I hope you have a good run in the championship, and I'll race you clean.
Thanks, bro.
No problem.
Great stuff. Cameron Norton bringing it home in second here in the Road to Glory 250 at Martinsville Speedway. And folks, on to victory lane we go. And for the first time in the NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series, we find Jackson Stotts in the number 6 Chevy Camaro standing in victory lane. You are a NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series race winner. And a lot of these drivers will tell you, Jackson, it's not an easy accomplishment. It's racing up there with the J-Wows and the Flash 9s and the Shadows and the NASCAR Roofs and these guys, and the Muckas. These guys know what they're doing. But you did too. You ran in the top 5 all race long, took the lead at a couple different points, and you even won stage 2. Take us through your race. How in the world did you bring a fast car like that and pull off the win like you did here tonight?
Well, no. Ready to start things off here at Martinsville. That was so much fun. I cannot believe the fun I had out there.
I could tell you were having fun, and usually when the drivers are having fun, the success is there, and they get good finishes, the ones that they're hoping for, and tonight it looked no different than that. You were having fun, and you were running a great race, good speed all race long. Take us through the battles with the 74 and the 08. You were right in the thick of things with them, especially on the short runs and the restarts. How wild and chaotic were the restarts, and what was your strategy to try to keep the track position that you had?
Pretty wild. The restarts were pretty wild, especially that. Our strategy was kind of brake forward. Got the great arc that we needed going into the corner. Nice. Out of the blue. 08. I don't know how to explain this. What he did today. Got out of the way twice. That's 74. Good race. We struggled a lot in lap. After he dumped the 08.
You capitalized, that's for sure. A wild late restart. What did you do on that last pit stop, and where was it that you were restarting? Was it fourth?
Third.
He had to move me.
I made a little. We had a great car.
Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we close the broadcast?
Shout out to the doing a great job. Shout out to that naughty about him. Shout out to you. You did. In fact, I wrote.
Thank you. Great job to you tonight. I knew you would probably move me out of the way tonight for that Martinsville win, but it is what it is. So we'll race each other hard next week, that's for sure.
Awesome stuff. Congratulations once again, Jackson. You are a NASCAR MotorMaster Series race winner. Go celebrate with your team, buddy. All right. That was Jackson Stotts, and what a wild, chaotic final race here in the round of 8. We knew it would be. 4 drivers came into this event with in a must-win situation, and when there's drivers in that scenario, it's going to get wild, it's going to get crazy, and when we saw that caution come out with only a handful of laps to go, I knew that it opened the door for everyone that needed a win. It opened the door for them to maybe pull off some sort of strategy here to get the win. We saw some drivers go for it, and when it was all said and done, it was Jackson Stotts in the number 6 car parking it in victory lane, stealing the show from the round of 4, round of 8 drivers, and making a name for himself here before the 2021 MotorMaster Series season is in the history books. Next week, we crown our champion. The race will begin at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The broadcast should begin and kick off at about quarter after, so 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll find out if it's Matt Smith, Jordan Dorset, Kevin Tattersall, or Jason Doro that'll be your champion. Those drivers, those 4 drivers combined for 26 wins in the 35 races we have run this season. A Who's Who Championship 4. Don't miss it next week right here on the NASCAR Series Racing YouTube channel. Want to take this time and opportunity to thank everybody who's been tuning in for the races all season long. It's been a journey, that's for sure. It's been a long grind for these drivers. 36 race season, 7 race playoffs, and over 45 drivers have points in the point standings. And it all comes to an end next Monday. We will crown the 4th annual NASCAR MotorMaster Series champion, right here on NASCAR Heat 5. And we'd like to thank everybody who's been tuning in for this journey, this special event here that we've been doing all season long. From all of us here at NASCAR, saying so long and stay fast.